Oh, you gonna get this podcast.
Get it to me then.
Wait, not right now.
Oh, okay. All right, my bad.
Just get Dre at the podium.
Got it.
I know defense has been a big issue for you guys so far in the series, but I went back and looked at some of the, your good offensive games in years past, some of the stats as well, and it seemed like in past years, this Warriors offense has hummed very well when you've been more aggressive, I guess, specifically going to the basket and posting up. Like your post-ups are way down, in years past. Like, knowing that's not the biggest issue, I mean, defensively it's been a big issue, but like, how do you think that's something that you can, improve? Is that something that you need to improve with this kind of roster?
I think I can. I will. I have to be more aggressive on both sides of the ball, not just defense or offense. I think the game ties together. It all goes hand in hand. When you're flowing on one side, you can flow on the other. So we are a much better team when I'm aggressive offensively. So I have to be that for this team. I've always prided myself on giving the team what it needs in order to win. And I think this team will need more of that for us to win. So I have to be better on that side for sure.
Third row on the left side, Steve Ashburner.
Steve Ashburner, NBA.com. Hi, Draymond. People like us will use the term lightning rod for you. In terms of the spotlights, the cameras, even the controversies somehow finding you. Lightning rods actually have a purpose, and they keep that kind of stuff, or the bad stuff, from hitting other people. Is there an intent to you taking on that role in a sense, and that it frees teammates to just do what they do, or is it just simply your world?
Oh, that's who I am, I'm always going to do whatever I can for my teammates. I think that's just my MO. That's who I've always been. In saying that doesn't excuse my play, and how poorly I played last night. But, I'll continue to be that guy no matter what. I try not to get caught up in all the stuff that happens around me or that, for that matter. But, I've always been that guy, and that won't change now.
In the first row on the right side.
Hey, Draymond, Shane Young with Forward Sports. Seemed like last night Jason and Jalen got free on a few pin down actions and wide pin downs. Do you think that's something that can be fixed with communication, or what was the issue last night?
I think it's fixed with aggressiveness and force. When you allow guys to just run freely, and get to the spot that they want, they're damn good players, especially offensive players. And so when you just allow guys to run freely and get to the spot that they want to get to, then it's tough to guard. Regardless of where they are on the floor, if you just let them get to the spot that they're going. So I think it's all a part of the same issue. We didn't approach the game with the right force that we needed to, and that starts with me. And so I think if I increase my force, we increase our force, it can take all those things away.
On the left side in fourth row, Ann Killian.
Hey, Draymond. I know you addressed this on your podcast last night, and your wife posted something on Instagram. I know you say you want to shut out all the noise, but can you do that when it's affecting your family, or how do you do that if it's bothering your family, the kind of atmosphere last night?
Oh, yeah, I can still do that. Obviously, it can affect them, and I understand that. But for me, going on the court, those people chanting that aren't on the floor. And quite frankly, my family aren't out there with me either. So at the end of the day, it's me and my teammates out there on the court versus their guys. And that just has to be what it is, channel and focus all my energy there. I didn't really give much to the crowd anyway, which I kind of think was a little bit more of an issue than me, than if I did. So like I said, it's just about me finding that balance. And just like I said on my podcast, being Draymond Green. I know how to be him better than I can be anyone else. I know how to be him better than anyone else can be him. So I just got to be myself.
First row on the left side.
Dre, what's going on?
What's happening?
What's up? Brandon Scoopy Robinson, Valley Sports. Over the last 24 hours, you've seen a lot in talk radio, WIN TV, as well as just experts, whether they're former players, commentators, and more, talking about you. I want to take a different approach here. think a lot of times old heads talk about what the young people should do. My question to you is, I know for me, the 90s, Charles Barkley, Charles Oakley, Anthony Mason, and more were guys that I respect, and I see flashes of that in you. Who are the guys in the 90s that you respected then that you still respect now?
I definitely respect those guys you just named. Dennis Rodman, I had a ton of respect for his game, how he approached things, and the force that he always brought to the game no matter what. A guy who, most people would say was a little off his rocker. Didn't affect him one bit. If you said Dennis Rodman was off his rocker, he'd go further off the rocker, and so I respect guys like that. I think the thing you have to remember is I was born in 90, and so as much as I had the opportunity to watch those guys, I was 6, when the Bulls won the championship in '96. I was 8 when they won their last championship, and so a lot of that is going back and like just watching, and with the true understanding of what's going on. I watched it when I was 6. I watched it when I was 8. I absolutely loved it and enjoyed it. But I didn't understand the game within the game when I was 6. And so a lot of my knowledge of those guys and appreciation goes back. It comes from going back and watching that stuff and seeing how guys operated and how they played. And so, I have appreciation, but I also have an appreciation for guys that still play like the 90s and early 2000s. Ben Wallace, who was an extreme enforcer. Ron Artest, Steven Jackson, guys who was really about all of that. And so, where they had more of that spirit and they kind of came up through that era. I watched a lot of those guys. So more so than it just being like, these guys from the 90s that are just so deep. Like, man, if it's anywhere between the 90s, I was 0 to 9. And so my recollection of those guys just isn't as strong as it is the Ben Wallaces and the Artests and the Steven Jacksons, guys who I really watched and understood when I was kind of in a space or at a point in my life that I understood the game, thoroughly understood the game of basketball, and like I said, the games that's going on within the game.
2 more questions. Second row on the right side.
Billy Manning, CLNS Media. Draymond, what stands out about the way the Celtics are guarding Steph and just you guys in general in the half court there? Steph's hitting shots, but it feels like they're forcing him to hit really hard shots from deep.
They're a great defensive team. We knew that coming in that, they pride themselves on that end. That's what changed their season this season. I think they started 11 and something I saw. And what changed their season is their defensive presence. And so they're going to make things tough. That's why they're in the NBA Finals. And, that's why we're in the NBA Finals. They're a very physical team. They have a lot of size, a lot of bulk. They try to muddy the game up. So I think it's important that, we continue to move the ball, move bodies, and not just standing still to where they can just muck the game up and use their hands and chuck guys. I think, if you're moving, the ball movement and, guys are moving without the ball, then it's a lot tougher to grab and chuck and hold and all of that and all of those things. And you don't allow them to play so much to their strengths as we did last night.
Noticing the bigs playing a little low on him because I'm just trying to see, he's shooting really deep out there.
I think their bigs are, and that's obviously when you're guarding Steph Curry, you have to kind of pick your poison, and they're picking a drop, which is great. I think there are some things we can do to capitalize on that, and I think there are times where you've seen in this series where we have. And so we just got to continue to do that more consistently. And I think if if we bring the force on the defensive end, then, it allows you to see more of that, So, like I said before, the game all ties together and we have to tie it together. And it starts with me.
Thanks, Draymond.
Marcus, you had a question back there? I saw you kept raising your hand. What you got for me, dog?
You guys have been playing maybe 7 deep. Do you feel like depth, getting more guys in and leaning into what got you through the season might be a solution, or do you feel like it's on you, Steph, Clay, to basically get it done?
I mean, it's on us for sure. And those two guys did their part last night. I didn't do mine. And it's always going to be on us, regardless of how deep we go into the bench. Now, in saying that, I think that has been who we always have been. We've always relied on our depth. I think there's a fine balance that you have to find there with as a coaching staff. You don't want to go too deep into the bench, and then you're messing up guys' rhythm that are playing the big minutes. And then at times you do want to go deeper into the bench, and that's always the game, that coaches are playing and trying to figure out. And I think, at times you get it right, at times you get it wrong, but ultimately we trust our coaching staff and know they get it right way more times than they get it wrong. So we're going to trust in what they decide. If they decide to go deeper into the bench, it's great. We have guys on the bench that are more than capable of coming in any game and contributing. If they don't, then it's, that's on us to work our minutes, whatever those minutes are, whether it's 35 minutes, whether it's 42 minutes. We got to work our minutes. So do I think the depth can help us? Yes, because I just believe in our guys that we have that can come off our bench and provide. So if Coach Kerr decided to go deeper into the bench, it will help because I have faith in those guys that he'd be going to. If he doesn't go deep into the bench, then, it's on us, guys who are playing the majority of those minutes that other guys will be getting, to make sure we're bringing that force for 48 minutes, regardless of what the situation is or what may happen.
Thanks a lot, Draymond.